Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Past presidents and all the injunctions in their time. We have a graphic of this, and you go back to President Obama, President Bush. They're at 6, 12. President Trump in the first term is at 64. President Biden at 22, 40 so far in the second term. Here's what the Senate Minority Leader said, Chuck Schumer. This ruling hands Donald Trump yet another green light in his crusade to unravel the foundations of American democracy. His plan to end birthright citizenship is blatantly unconstitutional, but instead of stopping in its tracks, the court has instead ducked the question and bowed to an out-of-control executive branch. Respond, if you will, to Chuck Schumer and the issue of birthright citizenship.
Attorney General, who's willing to fight for you?
Well, let me ask you about something that was just said in a statement by Chuck Schumer, who, of course, is the lead Democrat on the Senate side. He said this is a terrifying step toward authoritarianism. Is that hyperbolic in your mind?
Look, I think what Leader Schumer is recognizing is that this administration has been on a path to authoritarianism enabled by the Supreme Court for a long time. You can't look at the attacks on the judiciary, the attacks on the press, the attacks on our university, the attacks on states, the attacks on people's fundamental rights in such a brazen way and come to any other conclusion. What I am saying is that the court decidedly did not eliminate the ability for states to obtain nationwide relief. And in this case, where we are so clearly right on the merits of the case and where our harms cannot be addressed without obtaining nationwide relief, I'm confident that we're going to prevail as this case goes forward.
For the people who are waiting in the meantime, for the people who have birthright citizenship, for the expectant parents out there, what's your belief, not hope, but what is your reasonable belief that there could be some clarity on this issue?
Well, first of all, I feel for them. I can't imagine what a parent might be thinking, deciding where to give birth based on what state they live in and whether or not their attorney general had courage to join a suit or not. I think that's an unbelievably sad moment in American history, that for the first time since Dred Scott, we're even having this debate. Again, we fought a bloody civil war to settle this debate, but they should be comforted by the fact that there are a coalition of us that are going to press our case, that the Supreme Court clearly agreed that we have the right to seek nationwide relief in this case, and that if there's ever been a case where nationwide relief is appropriate, it is this one. Because citizenship in this country since the Civil War has not turned on which state you live in, and I don't think we want to go back to an America that predates the Civil War.
New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin, thank you so much.
What's going on, family? You know we got to start that thing off right now. Yes, indeed, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful weekend, or whatever time you're watching this, that you are blessed, well, and healthy, man. I love you guys. If you're new here, join the family. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. We got a good one on the show today. Oh, Chuck Schumer. Oh, man. Crying like a baby because we just keep winning. Democrats crying and the liberals crying. I'm scrolling through my For You and timeline page, and they're saying F this, F that, F Trump, F the Supreme Court. Oh, man, people are just having a complete meltdown because we just keep winning, man. Let's go and jump into this bad boy.
The other day, guys like Schumer, our great Palestinian senator, this guy, no, he's changed. He used to like Jewish people. Now he's totally against Jewish people. It's the most incredible transformation I think I've ever seen. But who would allow this to happen? In other sports, the same thing.
You know, they ought to walk Chuck out in handcuffs. They ought to walk Chuck. And I'm telling y'all, we need handcuffs and term limits. Handcuffs. And y'all got to see this clip here, man. Y'all have to see. And then I'm going to show a couple more because this is a disgrace, man.
First, let me say that I've always said that Iran Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Plain and simple. President Trump said that the nuclear stockpile was completely and totally obliterated. I did not receive an adequate answer to that question. What was clear is that there was no coherent strategy, no end game, no plan, no detailed plan on how Iran does not attain a nuclear weapon. Anyone in that
Did he really just say that?
Anyone.
Just said Trump didn't have a coherent plan? Man, they need to walk in there and put him in handcuffs, man.
If they're being honest with themselves, their constituents, their colleagues would know that we need to enforce the War Powers Act and force them to articulate an answer to some specific questions and a coherent strategy right away.
Look at the guy behind him. He like, did he really just say that? This is why it gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats.
Madam President, earlier today, we received reports that Iran has targeted U.S. military bases and U.S. service members in the Middle East, putting the lives of thousands of Americans at immediate risk. I join Americans. I pray for their safety. This afternoon, I asked the Trump administration to immediately provide a classified briefing laying out the full threat picture, the intelligence behind Iran's retaliation, and the detailed scope and timeline of any U.S. response. More importantly, I've demanded they lay out exactly what measures they're taking right now to keep our service members safe. As I said Saturday night, Congress and the American people are owed answers. No president should be allowed to unilaterally march this nation into war with erratic threats, no strategy, no explanation. That's why I've called on Leader Thune to hold a vote immediately to enforce the War Powers Resolution. The law requires the Trump administration to consult with Congress. The Constitution demands it. And the American people, especially the families of those in harm's way, deserve nothing less. Confronting the Iranian regime's nuclear ambitions and stopping their campaign of terror demands strength, resolve, and strategic clarity.
Chuck, this is what the people want, man. This right here. You see that? You see that? You see that hand placement? Hands behind your back. That's what they want. And they post this every single day. Somebody posts this every single day of you and somebody being walked out in handcuffs because they want your butt walked out, Chuck. Let's get into that clip where he got completely destroyed. Oh, man. The Supreme Court, they gave Trump the green light, no. They gave Trump the green light, and then my party just can't get it together. People keep walking away, and they keep sending this ghetto trash Jasmine Crockett out. Chuck, are you okay, sir? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. They keep sending Jasmine Crockett and AOC. It just gets worse. I don't know what she be saying, and then she be up there arguing and screaming and hollering. And she just won't ever get to the point. Oh, this is good. This is good. And then President Trump comes out and he endorses and nominates Jasmine Crockett and AOC +3 for the Democrat ticket in 2028. And we just keep winning, Chuck. Chuck, it just gets worse and worse for you and your party. We just keep winning, sir. Yeah. Common sense is back. Our new sheriff's in town. Daddy is home. And Daddy is pissed off. He done pulled out that belt. The hell with an activist rogue judge. The people spoke loud and clear. Common sense is back. I hope you're ready. Watch Mr. Miller just completely destroy it. Y'all got to hear this clip. Let's get into it.
Put up past presidents and all the injunctions in their time. We have a graphic of this, and you go back to President Obama, President Bush. They're at 6, 12. President Trump in the first term is at 64. President Biden at 22, 40 so far in the second term. Here's what the Senate Minority Leader said, Chuck Schumer, this ruling hands Donald Trump yet another green light in his crusade to unravel the foundations of American democracy. His plan to end birthright citizenship is blatantly unconstitutional, but instead of stopping in its tracks, the court has instead ducked the question and bowed to an out-of-control executive branch. Respond, if you will, to Chuck Schumer and the issue of birthright citizenship.
I tell you what.
Look, Chuck Schumer is cheering for district court tyranny. Chuck Schumer doesn't want to win a national election. Chuck Schumer wants to be able to install a single district court judge in a far left community to make decisions for the whole country. That is authoritarianism. That is fascism. That is not freedom. That is not American democracy. Let's talk about birthright citizenship. After the Civil War, Congress and America came together to ensure freedom for the children of slaves. Not the children of illegal aliens, the children of slaves. If you go to the UN today, the United Nations, you have diplomats from all over the world. None of their babies become automatic American citizens. Why? Because they're subject to the jurisdiction of a foreign country. Their allegiance is to a foreign country. Their citizenship is to a foreign country. Illegal aliens are no different, in fact worse, because illegal aliens are expressly forbidden from even being on our soil. Their allegiance is to a foreign land. They're under the jurisdiction of a foreign nation. Their children are not U.S. citizens, and the Supreme Court has now cleared the way for us to restore the actual meaning of the United States Constitution and the idea that this special privilege does not belong to illegal aliens and their children. I'll make one more point about democracy. Chuck Schumer and the Democrat Party presided over the invasion of this country, violating our immigration laws, violating our sovereignty, violating our Constitution. And now they're relying on a handful of district court judges to cement that invasion. Americans showed up at the polls in overwhelming numbers to repel that invasion, to put Donald Trump back in the White House. With today's action, the Supreme Court has said that President Trump can fully deliver on the mandate the American people gave him in
landslide. People spoke loud and clear.
And we'll see in October how the Supreme Court deals with this in the big picture, specifically on the issue of birthright citizenship and where that goes. I just want to ask you one more thing about the tariffs. The president answered some questions about that, said there may be some other deals coming, but he may just write letters to a number of countries and say, this is what you're paying. Is that where he's leaning?
Well, yes. So as the president has said, the United States has the most coveted market on the face of the earth. Everybody wants to do business in America, especially now that President Trump is here. Everybody wants to sell their goods into America. We are the largest, most dominant, most lucrative market. That gives us leverage. That allows us to say to a foreign country, if you want access to our market, you have to pay a fee. That fee, in turn, what will it do? It will pay down our deficit. It will pay down our debt. It will allow us to lower taxes on Americans, as we are doing right now with the big, beautiful bill. In other words, part of the beauty of the tariffs is they are paying for the tax cuts in that legislation. Yeah, yes, there will be some deals with countries. The president made a historic deal with the United Kingdom that is a massive win for American farmers, ranchers, and agriculture. And I'm sure you will see more deals in the coming days. I will also note, as is now universally acknowledged, not only did the tariffs not create inflation, inflation is back down. Inflation has been defeated. So our economy is soaring, jobs are being created, American workers are going back to work, the labor force is growing again, inflation is gone, and our manufacturing jobs are coming back to the United States where they belong. So the tariff strategy has been
what
a
about
huge
your
win.
thoughts?
And they don't want to change. I see it the other day. Guys like Schumer, our great Palestinian senator, this guy, no, he's changed. He used to like Jewish people. Now he's totally against Jewish people. It's the most incredible transformation I think I've ever seen.